All right, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the thought, I am capable of anything. Specifically, we're going to talk about the thought, I am capable of anything I set my mind to. Here's why this is important. The more you believe this thought, I'm capable of anything I set my mind to, the more confident you are going to feel. And the more confident you feel, the less you will have the need to, or feel you need to, overwork, overthink, the less you will need to play small, and the more you will show up to your potential. So there are three things I want you to take away from today's session. Number one, I am capable of anything I put my mind to. That's a thought that you can choose. Number two is you can literally start using or choosing that thought today, the minute you get off this session. And then the third thing I want you to take away is that the doors are opening to confident Black lawyers. They're opening this Friday, the 15th of November. I can't wait to tell you all about it. All right, so let's talk about where you are now with your thoughts. Right now, the thought, I am capable of anything I put my mind to, well, it's not a thought that you typically have. It's not what you wake up thinking about yourself. Actually, your thoughts are much more, aren't they? And this line along the lines of, I'm a fraud, my success is down to luck, or any minute now I'm going to be exposed. That's if you have like classic, what I call classic imposter syndrome. But even if those aren't your thoughts, maybe your thoughts are more along the lines of, I'm not good enough, I'm not articulate enough, I don't know enough, I'm not knowledgeable or experienced enough. And this is the backdrop to how you go about your day and how you approach out your work. And the mistake that you're making is that these thoughts, they might seem innocent, they might seem like they're working away in the background and harmlessly, but actually those thoughts are showing up in how you perform in your career. And what's happening is the thoughts that you think about yourself in terms of your knowledge, your capability, your ability, it is actually showing up in your results. And here's how you know this is true. Number one, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So if your experience is one of feeling anxious, feeling that not enoughness, it's like an emotion, isn't it? The not enoughness, the insufficiency. If you feel stressed and worried most of the time, that's how you know that there are thoughts in the back of your mind, maybe at the bottom of everything else, that are playing in, that are influencing how you feel at work and how you show up. Another way you know that you have the I'm not enough, the not enoughness type thinking is in how you're working. So I'm always talking to the fact that even if you don't have the thought, I feel like a fraud, my success is down to luck, even if it's not classic imposter syndrome, if you are constantly overworking, if you're someone that's always overthinking, and by that I simply mean, like when I put the word over before work and over before think, so overthinking and overworking, what I'm referring to is the fact that you are working, that you're doing extra work, and that extra work, the extra effort, isn't translating into value or results. Likewise, if you're overthinking, it means you're going beyond the thinking that's useful and you're spending a lot of time in thinking that is keeping you stuck, right? And an example of that would be sitting on a decision that you need to make for ages, going back and forth, spinning in indecision. That's what I call it. That's an example of overthinking. It's all the thinking you do that doesn't serve you. Worrying about an outcome before it's happened is thinking that doesn't serve you. So if you spend a lot of time overthinking and overworking, also, if you spend a lot of time, I call it playing small. And what I really mean by that is hiding your talent. So working really, really hard, but it's happening in the background. People don't see it. They don't know quite how brilliant that you are. One example of this is where you have successes, you have wins, and you don't know how to, and you don't share them. You don't showcase them. Right? These are examples of you playing small or hiding your talent. So overthinking, overworking, playing small. The fourth one, so I talk about these four categories of actions and behaviors. I used to refer to these, haven't for a while, referred to them as the four horsemen. These are the four behavioral types, like types of actions that you are taking in the workplace that are holding you back in your career. So the fourth one then is what I call self-sabotage. That means it's all the things that you say to yourself or even possibly do that undermine you. Let's say you go for an opportunity. Let's say one day you do have the courage to try and speak up. When you are someone who goes, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I did that really badly, or I said that, I sounded stupid, or I got it wrong, I'll never do that again. Those little comments, the constant, like inner critic, it's sometimes called, that you do that undermines you. That's self-sabotage. So what I've described there, those four horsemen, those four types of behaviors or actions, what you may be doing, like if I were to watch you as a fly on the wall in your office, and I saw you doing these things, what this would tell me is the kind of thoughts that you are having and that are driving how you feel in the workplace, and that's causing this way to show up. So it would tell me that you're thinking things like either I don't deserve to be here or my success is down to luck, or it'd be some version of I like feeling like an imposter. And I want to add that for you as a Black lawyer, even if you don't have that internal imposter syndrome of thinking your success is down to luck, what you almost certainly do have, if you've had like the Black experience of being like the only one, in the sense that circumstantially there are just not any other or very few other people who look like you, circumstantially having the experience of not being included, of feeling you can't be your true, your authentic self, and also of the microaggressions, the racism that you are exposed to. All of this, I describe this as the environmental imposter syndrome, because those experiences, the Black experience, what it does is it makes you feel like an imposter, right? Even when you know how hard you work to get here, even when you know you deserve to be here, it still makes you feel that way. And so that feeling, that not enoughness, that not belonging shows up in these ways, in the overworking, in the overthinking, in the self-sabotage, in the playing small. And when that's how you were working in the office, that's how you're showing up, here's the result you create. You end up underperforming. If you're overworking, you are underperforming. You're spending a lot of time doing work that isn't necessarily valued, right? Which means there's this capacity to do different work, to work differently, or put yourself in on different projects, or have more visibility. There are all these things you're not doing because of the time you spend with what you are doing with the overworking, for example. So you underperform. That's one of the results of the way you're showing up right now. You're left behind. That means your peers are progressing ahead of you. Sometimes that's really clear, painfully clear, when they get promoted ahead of you. Perhaps they're no more qualified than you are. They're no better than you are, but they are getting promoted ahead of you, or they're getting the better work allocation instead of you, right? These are ways in which you can feel left behind. So that's another result, another sign, right, that there's all of this going on in the background. I really hope you're paying attention to me walking you through these different ways in which imposter syndrome, a feeling that you're not enough, the thoughts you're having about yourself in the workplace are coming through and showing up in your actions and in your experience of being a lawyer right now. So underperforming, feeling left behind. Oh, and by the way, let's be clear. When I talk about underperforming, I'm not saying that you aren't doing your job and getting it done to a good enough standard. It's not always what I mean by underperforming. Sometimes, and for some of you, that may have been your experience. You may have feedback that your work isn't good enough. And I want to offer you, it's not because you're not good enough, right? It's not because you don't have the skill, you don't have the capability. What's behind your underperforming is that so much of your energy and your time and your effort is going into managing these feelings of not enoughness and the thoughts of, I don't know enough, I'm not experienced enough. Yeah, that's what the underperforming is coming from, not from any deficiency in you. And in fact, that's what this podcast is absolutely about, is your innate capability, and a capability you have built over the years and the experiences and the knowledge that you've built over the years this is a capability you built, and this episode is going to help you tap into them. So you underperform, you get left behind, you're not fulfilling your potential, and your experience of lawyering, it's hard, right? It feels hard to be a lawyer. It feels like all you ever do is work. And as for that confidence, that thing we all want and need, right, in this industry, and particularly as a Black lawyer, needing the confidence to succeed, your confidence never grows. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that with this episode. And most importantly, we're going to change that when I tell you about confident Black lawyers and how I've created this amazing program to help you do that. So let's go to the place where we want to be. Like, looking at where you are now, let's think about, well, what I want to offer you is what is possible, what is available for you. So I am seeing and imagining you, and I want you to take yourself there too, to a place where you have authority over your thoughts. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you have a sense of awareness of thoughts that don't serve you. So thoughts like, I don't know enough, I shouldn't be here. You have the authority to recognize those thoughts and that they are not serving you or helping you, and then choose different thoughts, right? Recognize that you can choose to think differently and choose thoughts that will serve you, right? So the authority over your thoughts starts with understanding how powerful thoughts are. And by thoughts, when I say thoughts, I literally mean the sentences in your brain. So it starts with your authority, starts with you understanding how powerful your thoughts are. And it goes on with understanding that you can change those thoughts. Think about that. Thoughts are really powerful. Ability to recognize when you're thinking things that don't serve you. Understanding that you can change your thoughts, and then choosing a different thought. Choosing the thought that you are going to change to. Okay? So this is where we want to be. This is the level at which, like, your command over your thinking and over your brain, this is where you want to get to. And I want to offer, that's all you need to get to. That's the only thing you need to focus on taking yourself to in order to open all of this up, in order to make all of that, like all of those actions that I talked about that are holding you back, in order for you to overcome them, in order for when imposter syndrome is triggered, for example, for you to overcome imposter syndrome. What you want, and where I'm going to take you, is to a place where you have authority over your thoughts. The other thing you want, the other side of this, like where I'm going to be taking you on your confidence journey, this is where we're heading. This is the destination. You want to be someone who thinks on purpose. I'm going to repeat that. You want to be someone who thinks on purpose. And that's another way of saying you are aware of thoughts that aren't serving you, and you take your brain to, and you switch to, and you change to believing thoughts that do serve you. So you want to be someone who thinks on purpose. And specifically what I want to offer you in this session is you want to become the person who believes you are capable of anything that you set your mind to. And because you believe that, you have the confidence to go out and achieve it, whatever it is. Okay? I'm going to repeat that too, because it's that important. So you become the person who believes you are capable of anything you set your mind to. And that belief gives you the confidence to go out and create it. This is where we're going. This is where I'm taking you. This is why I'm so excited about confident Black lawyers, because that is the bridge. It is going to take you from where you are now feeling, and I know because I remember this feeling so deeply and so well, and it's literally because I've had this experience, and when I was a junior lawyer and before that at school, knowing how that felt and needing and having to find a way and not stopping until I found a way to take myself out of that, to be able to take myself to a place where I could be confident in the world and create anything I wanted to, because I could believe that I was capable of anything, right? I've had that journey. And so what I'm doing, what I'm offering, what I want to be for you is the person who brings you on that journey yourself, right? That meets you and helps you find your way on your confidence journey to a place where you have that level of belief in your capability and you can go out confidently into the world and create whatever you want to create. I want you to really take a minute to just allow the possibility of that happening for you and imagining what it would be like. Like, imagine what it would be like to actually believe I am capable of anything. Like, that is such a powerful, such a strong thought. I'm capable of anything I set my mind to. Like, you'd feel confident in who you are. So you wouldn't need to know everything. You wouldn't be afraid of questions. You'd stop laboring over emails. You'd stop feeling like you had to work twice as hard. You'd stop needing everything to be perfect, like doing it to the highest standard that would do. You'd stop second guessing, spinning in confusion and indecision, being anxious, being worried you don't know the answer. You'd stop procrastinating. You'd speak up more in meetings. You'd create opportunities. You'd showcase your talent, talk about your success. And you would have the confidence to take ownership of your career and actually start to progress it. Like, I talk about the core essentials of career progression. And this is specifically for you as a Black lawyer, the things that you need to be doing to progress your career. So the taking ownership and being proactive. And what those core essentials include are, for example, being able to receive feedback, building your brand, building relationships with people who are different to you, like being visible in a way that you stand out from the crowd, and showcasing your value. These are the core essentials if you want to progress your career. And so the thought and believing I am capable of anything I set my mind to, not only is it going to ensure that you're not holding yourself back with those four horsemen, the overthinking, overworking, self-sabotage, and the playing small, not only will you be able to let go of that, those what effectively are like safety mechanisms that we put in place to like protect ourselves when we feel vulnerable, we feel afraid of being exposed, feel afraid that we're not enough, when we are self-conscious of our difference. You'll be able to let go of all of those actions that are holding you back and just think how much energy you are going to have and how much confidence you are going to have to then focus on the things that will progress your career. This is something that's really become so clear to me over the last year to 2 years that I've been teaching this work, that I've been preaching the be the first message, coaching you on progressing your career. For so many of you, actually getting to the place where you are like receiving feedback and seeking feedback as a way to progress, building your brand, building these relationships, getting a sponsor, getting a mentor, being visible, showcasing value, all of this work that and actions and activities, proactivity that is required for you to progress. If you don't have the confidence in who you are, doing that's going to be very challenging. Receiving feedback is going to be very challenging if you're there feeling like you're not enough. Being visible, talking about your achievements, showcasing your valuable, very challenging when you are playing small, don't want to be visible, when it feels too uncomfortable to you. So this confidence piece, confidence in who you are, thoughts like I am capable of anything I set my mind to, really believing that and generating confidence in your core from thoughts, from beliefs like that, that's the missing piece for so many of you that are getting stuck with the career progression actions, right, and activities. So this is essential, and I want to offer that this is important not just when you're starting out, like as a student, as a paralegal, as a trainee. In those early years, the confidence in who you are is going to be so important because you've got so much learning to do. There's so much that you're being exposed to that's new. You don't have the experience at the beginning. The only thing you have a knowledge and a skill set that you've developed up until that point. But actually, when you're there and you're applying for roles, you're being interviewed, you have assessment days and centres, and you are going in as a trainee and then you're newly qualified, There's so much you don't know. There's so much you're being exposed to, so much that is thrown at you. The most important thing you need during that time, and what you always want to be able to come back to, is this confidence in your core, confidence in who you are. And I want to add, for those of you who are further along, you're more senior, maybe you're going for that promotion, if you're at that mid to senior level, or you're at the most senior level, you will know those times when you doubt yourself, when you experience that, you have those thoughts. I'm thinking what comes to mind is a client, one of my clients. She's so incredibly successful. She is just up there. She's had the most extraordinary journey, and her career trajectory is just mind-blowing. It's just awe-inspiring. And yet she has days where she questions herself, thinks, I'm not the right person to be here. I'm not credible. I can't do this. So whatever level you are at, as you are a Black lawyer, this work is essential for you. And by the way, I want to add, if you're listening to this and you are not a Black lawyer, you could be either still a lawyer but not identify as Black. You could be in any other industry, by the way, and still this resonate because of how important confidence is. I know how important it is, and that's why I built Confident Black Lawyers, is to really help you, give you a process and a system to help you build it. I'm so passionate about this. Okay, so we were talking about what's waiting for you on this journey, and I want to add that every day that your confidence grows, this becomes more and more available to you. You don't have to wait. I was coaching on this morning. You don't have to wait until the magic day arrives when you just wake up and you're a confident person. I want to offer, my experience has been, I can talk about myself now, and I describe myself as being confident and being able to dial up my confidence depending on the scenario, right? When I need it, or access my core confidence in the moments when I need it. I have that skill. I've built the muscle of doing that. So I can say, I know I am confident in who I am. But I didn't just wake up one day and think, oh, I was doing all of this work, I was on my building my confidence all of these years, and now I've woken up and I'm here. It's not like that. I talk about a confidence journey for a reason, and that's partly because there is no arriving. I think your confidence will continue to be challenged as you continue to progress and you're in bigger and bigger and whiter rooms, right? So it will always be something that is a journey for you rather than a destination. But what's beautiful about that is it means you can start right now and already be making progress. You can literally feel more confident tomorrow than you did today, or you do right now while you're listening or watching this. That's how fantastic it is. That's how I want you to think about confidence, as a journey you are on. And I want you to think about me as the person who is there to guide you, here to support you, here to show you the way and lead the way. So excited to do that. So having the confidence, this is what's waiting for you, right? Every single day along that journey, you're getting closer and closer to being able to do all of those career progression activities that I was just sharing with you. And the result of that is you are going to keep progressing. You are going to fulfill your potential, right? You're also going to make much better decisions about how you use your time, so you're going to feel more balanced, and the day-to-day job of being a lawyer is going to be so much easier. And I'm including there the day-to-day experience of, your Black experience. That's going to be so much easier too when you have confidence in who you are. Okay, so how do we do this? How do I get you from all of the doubts and the thoughts you have right now that aren't serving you because they're keeping you overworking and overthinking and doing those activities that are holding you back in your career? How do we get you on this confidence journey, get you to the place where you have confidence in who you are because you know and you believe that you are capable of anything you set your mind to? Here's how. So simple. So simple, I want to warn you, when you hear it, you're going to be like, no, that can't be it. It cannot be that simple. If it was this simple, I would have done it. Or you might even think I've already done it, but I want you to stay with me. All you have to do to get to the place where you believe, you have this thought about yourself, I am capable of anything, you just need to remember who you are. You just need to remember who you are. And you know why that works? Because it's already true. You have just forgotten. I'm going to be shouting this from the rooftops because it's just so, like, once this clicks for you, everything is going to change. The more you hear me talk, and I encourage you, follow me, like watch my videos, listen to all my reels and read my posts, because I'm going to be like repeating and really sharing this message with you over and over again. And at some point, and it'll be different for everybody, but at some point you are going to wake up and you're going to like, oh my gosh, she was so right. It is true. I am capable of anything I set my mind to. I did just forget. Yeah. There are lots of ways, and one of the things we do in this program is I help you to see how that is already true. But just hold that for the moment, that it's already true, that you are capable of everything you set your mind to, and you have just forgotten. So the answer, the solution, the way you progress along your confidence journey is just to remember who you are. And when you remember who you are, all it takes is for you to then be consciously showing up in your work with that memory, right? In other words, showing up, getting to work as the version of you that is capable, right? The one that you remember, like show up as that person and get to work. Like, have a think, and it may not come to you immediately, but have a think right now back to a time when you felt that. Some point along your journey to where you are now, where you, whether it's like got back up after a failure or a setback, you kept going, you went all in again, and you were like just determined. Or the time when you achieved something you like had wanted all along, and you couldn't believe it, but you achieved it, right? Have a think about that person who created that. That is you. That is that person is still inside of you. You've just forgotten about them. So all we need to do is give you access, connect you to that version of you. And I don't want you to worry about how you do this, because I have thought of it all. I have got you, okay? Remembering who you are sounds a little bit vague and like, oh, but how's that going to work in practice? When I'm sitting in a meeting, the partner asks me what's going on in this deal, right? Or when someone comes into my office and they want an instant answer to something, how does it work? How do I get from this idea of remembering who I am to actually being more confident in my work and showing up to my potential? It's really simple when you have the process and the tool. And this is what I give you in Confident Black Lawyers. So I give you a process. There are 2 parts to it. This is how I want you to think about it. 2 parts to this journey. Number 1 is the process. Number 2 is the tool. So the process is where I take you through a like deep dive, can't get my words out today. A deep dive discovery. There's a lot of alliteration there. A deep dive discovery into who you are that will have you believing and seeing why it's true that you are capable of everything you set your mind to. I'm going to repeat that because those D's got me really jumbled up. So the process, you need a process and you need a tool. These are the only 2 things you need. The process is me taking you on this deep dive where I actually I like to think of myself as having a torchlight. And I shine that torchlight on the areas of your life and your experience that you've neglected or forgotten about or didn't realize how valuable they were. And I help you see those parts of you, those parts of your experience that are evidence of how capable you are, like really revealing of who you are. Now notice I haven't said anything about your heritage or about your culture. I'm talking about your unique life experience that has shaped you. Okay, on top of all of those things that has shaped you. And I help you to see those areas, and I help you to connect with that version of you that's capable of anything you set your mind to. And then what I give you is the tool. It's called the imposter speech. Why is it called the imposter speech? Because it's the speech that you say to yourself. You have it we create it together, co-create it, right? I teach you how to walk you through the steps, a short speech that you memorize and that you can say to yourself whenever your imposter syndrome is triggered, whenever you are put on the spot, whenever you are afraid and doubting yourself, whenever you are feeling you're not enough, whenever you go to overwork, whenever you're away, you're just spinning and spinning in confusion or procrastinating, whenever you would rather hide behind the scenes and you know you should be out there in the spotlight showcasing your value. In all of those moments when you have the awareness that you are holding yourself back, you will be able to pull out your imposter speech and say that to yourself out loud in the toilets before an important meeting, or just in your mind. Just have that come up for you in the moment when you then need to get to work, so that you connect, like literally instantaneously, whenever you need it, you connect to the version of you that is capable of anything you set your mind to. I am so both passionate and excited about this program, Confident Black Lawyers, and what it gives you, what it will do for you. That process, it's transformational. You can just work through those videos, and I'll talk to you about how the program is organized in a minute and what you get inside it. But you can literally work through it, and as you go through each one, you will feel yourself changing. You will feel yourself connecting with a power, with a force inside of you that is so strong and yet has just not been able to come out, or has just been suffocated by the environment that you are in. Like, we lose ourselves in this environment. We lose ourselves when we're the only one, when we see a dominant culture, when we see people who are different to us, who are thriving and who are progressing and who are getting all the work allocation and everybody seems to like, and who are bonding so easily. We can lose ourselves. We can lose connection to that power inside of us. Like, this is what's been happening for you if you are there thinking, doubting yourself. And I'm going to help you reconnect to that version of you. I'm going to help you reignite that. I think about you as like having this pilot light inside of you. And like, I'm literally going to show you where the dial is, where you could just dial up the fuel that is just going to, I was going to say sort of set it ablaze, but like really you're just going to light up the room. Okay, this is what the imposter speech will do for you. This is what the Confident Black Lawyers process will do for you when you join. All so exciting. I'm pretty sure I've sold you on how amazing things are going to be on this journey, but I want to reiterate that all we're really talking about is you just feeling confident and you being able to access that confidence. Now, you can tap into it anytime you want to, like have it be something that feels within your control. That's a really big difference that I've only just thought about now as I'm talking about it. The difference between where you are now and where you will be when you work through Confident Black Lawyers, that program, and work with me along by your side. The difference is you will have a sense of control over when you feel confident and how confident you feel. And here's how you know, like, this is like the value of this. Right now, I know there are circumstances in which you feel confident with your family or with your friends or outside of the office. And that right now doesn't feel like something that's within your control. It just feels like something that is. And then when you're at work and you're with people who are different to you, or you're in this environment that's high pressured, you think, like, where is that confidence? I don't have it. Like those of you who are parents, for example, there's a lot of confidence you have when you are communicating with your children and leading them. And then in the office, you're a shadow of that person. And you don't know how to access the confidence. You know it works in some environments, but not in others. So control over your confidence. What a beautiful concept. Your ability to dial it up, dial it down, depending on what the scenario is and what the environment is. And in that way, I also want to speak to you if your brain, and I know some of you are doing this, I hear this a lot. Oh, but if I start building confidence, I'm going to become really arrogant and I'm going to become cocky, and I don't want to be that person. And I want to offer you that this is the skill. It's the dialing up. Well, there's two things I want to offer. One, if you have all of those thoughts about yourself, about not being enough, not knowing enough, you are such a long way from being really cocky and arrogant and thinking you're better than everyone else. You are such a long way from that. I want you to trust me that that's not going to be something you accidentally fall into. You're not going to wake up one day and think, oh my God, I'm better than everyone else. Because, by the way, that's what being arrogant is. It's thinking you are superior to. This is not what we're talking about. I think there's something incredibly selfless about having confidence in who you are. Do you know why? Because when you have confidence in who you are, you don't have to be out there looking and needing other people to tell you you're good enough, to tell you, to validate you. Like, that is a selfish act in a way, if you like, right? To need other people to see things in you that you don't see in yourself. Like, that's quite an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? It's an interesting twist. For those of you who are worried about being someone who's arrogant, thinks you're superior to other people, I've always thought that when I'm in a room, like when I go out to a networking event, being confident in who I am means I can just forget about myself and I can have a conversation and be so present to the person I'm speaking to, be so present to the room that I can actually engage, that I can ask them questions about themselves. I'm not stuck in my own head, I'm not thinking about me. I don't need to worry about me. I can be fully focused on the person in front of me. And that's how I'm able to connect with people, whoever they are. It's why I'm able to walk into any room and speak to anyone. It's because I'm not in my own head worrying about myself, because I've already given myself what I need, the confidence in who I am. Yeah? So please don't let the fear of being that person put you off from joining Confident Black Lawyers, put you off from going on this confidence journey with me, letting me take you on this journey. So I want to offer then on the back of that, like making it safe for you to grow confidence, that the beautiful thing is that with your day-to-day actions of connecting to the version of you that's capable of anything you set your mind to, your confidence is going to start to grow and it's going to compound. It's going to compound and you will feel the change in you. And I promise you, you will never want to go back. You will never want to go back to what felt like safety, right? Overworking and overthinking and all of those things, telling yourself like you're not enough. It feels like the safe thing to do right now. But when you start to feel and experience what it's like to have confidence in your core, you will never go back because of what that then opens up for you, what's then going to be possible for you. You're going to be feeling so much like yourself again. I think that's the promise. Like I say, you will be different, but it's like almost a full circle of yes, you'll be different, but it's going to feel familiar because it's going to be you feeling like yourself again. Remember I talked about losing yourself. This is you finding yourself again. Like, how will that feel? Can you even remember what that feels like? So no more pain of unfulfilled potential. That's what I talk about, that gnawing inside where you know you're capable of more. No more of that. When you believe I'm capable of anything I set my mind to, and then you go to work with that thought. You let that thought drive how you show up. So you connect to the confidence that that thought gives you, and then you get to work. So you're going to be fulfilling your potential. You are always going to be able to overcome your imposter syndrome. Once you have that process and that tool that I give you in Confident Black Lawyers, so once you have that ability to connect to who you are, remember who you are, have the thought, I'm capable of anything I set my mind to. Once you have that, the skill of accessing that, remember I talked about having authority over your thoughts. Once you have this, there's no circumstance in which you won't be able to overcome your imposter syndrome. And remember I said that will occur at different levels as you progress higher and higher up the chain and you put yourself into bigger rooms. You will never have to be afraid of that because you know you have the tools. There are so many things, if I think about my goals, like towards the end of this year and also setting goals for 2025, like I set big, bold, ambitious goals and they do scare me, but they scare me in a way that like not in a way that makes me want to lean back and be afraid of them. They scare me in a way that, you know, the fear of like what's possible. It's like a being scared of your potential, that type of fear, right? It's like setting a big goal and thinking, oh, but what if I could achieve it? And knowing that my imposter syndrome is going to come up. But the reason I can lean into that fear is because I know I have the tools to overcome it. Not because I think I'm never going to experience imposter syndrome again. Not because I think I'm never going to be afraid and it's all going to be easy. But because I know I've got the skill, I've got the tools, I've got the process, I've got the tool, so that I'll be able to overcome imposter syndrome wherever it shows up. Yeah, this is so powerful. And I'm leading by example here. I promise you, everything you're going through, whatever level you are at, I am going through. I'm on my own confidence journey too. And I want us to all be on this journey together. Like, think about how powerful that will be. So your work, when you are confident in who you are, is going to be so much more satisfying, so much more filling. And your day-to-day experience of being a lawyer, it's just going to be so much easier when you have this confidence, when you have this thought, I am capable of anything I set my mind to. All right, so let's talk about confident Black lawyers. So the doors are open this Friday, the 15th of November, 2024, and I cannot wait for you to get inside this program. It's a 6-month online program for building confidence in who you are so that you can overcome imposter syndrome and perform to your potential. Here's what you get. You get the course, right? So you get immediate access to the online program. So a series of videos that you can work through at your own speed. This is what's so fantastic about it. You could work through the whole course in, like, if you wanted to binge it, like a few weeks, right? It's a 6-month program, so I recommend, like, even if you work through all the videos, the materials, you spend that 6 months implementing. Like, it's really important that you obviously implement. So that's why I allow a 6-month period, so that you internalize this work. Remember, it's a deep dive discovery. We don't want to stay on the surface. This program is designed to help you remember who you are and connect with that version of you. So it's a 6-month online program, work through at your own speed, anytime you want. You get instant access the moment that you join, which is like super amazing. And it's even like you'll be able to see it on your phone and be able to like watch the videos on your commute or when you're at home at any time. It's just, I've made it just so doable and accessible for you. So you get the course, that's the online program, a series of videos, right? And by the way, I think probably 80% of those videos, if you want them, there are worksheets for each individual video. If you want to like download and have like a format to actually fill in and do the work, you don't have to use that. But if you're someone who likes a worksheet to go with your lessons, then that's included as well. So on top of the course, you get the community. I'm so excited to watch this community grow. It's called the Confident Black Lawyers Club. You get immediate access when you join, so you become part of a community of Black lawyers who are on their own confidence journey as well. So we can be inspiring and connecting with each other, right? And like, I really see us growing and becoming this movement out in the world of confident Black lawyers, confident in who we are, all of us, fulfilling our potential and progressing these careers that we've worked so hard to build. So you get membership of the Confident Black Lawyers Club, right? The third thing you get is coaching, live coaching. 3 times a month, you will be able to dial in like once a month, 3 times a month, or no times a month. Like, it's just there if you need it. You don't have to do the coaching, but you will get it if, like, whenever you're struggling with anything, if you want to come on and either be coached directly or witness other people being coached and learning through them. This is so valuable to just know that there is the possibility of getting access to me 3 times a month. So there's the coaching element too. So there's the course, the community, or the club, I should call it, and the coaching. And what's brilliant, what I love about the coaching is all of those coaching sessions will be uploaded into a private podcast, which means you'll be able to listen to the coaching from any sessions you're not able to attend, or you weren't able to show up, or you showed up and there was some coaching that I gave someone or I gave you in a session. You're like, that was so valuable. I want to listen to that again. You will be able to listen to that via a private podcast, right? Just for this program. I am so excited. I cannot wait to get this in your hands, okay? So I've talked about the course, you get immediate access. I've talked about the club. I've talked about the coaching, and I mentioned also the private podcast. The only thing I haven't mentioned, and I can't wait to share this with you, is how much it costs. Are you ready? All of that, the online program, immediate access, the club, the coaching, the private podcast, for 6 months, it's £600. Not £600 a month, £600 for the whole thing. £600 gives you access to everything. £600 that will put you on this confidence journey and take you to the place where you are so deeply connected to who you are. You have the thought about yourself. I'm capable of anything I set my mind to, and that give you the confidence to go out and create whatever result you want in your career, and by the way, in other areas of your life, because that's the beauty of this work. Like your building of confidence in the workplace. Think about how your mood, your well-being, your feeling, your experience of work bleeds into other areas, affects you outside work. Well, by the same token, like when you feel confident and things start changing and you feel so much more in control and able to create the results and show up to your potential because you're more and more confident, that too is going to bleed into other areas of your life in the most beautiful, the most positive way. I just cannot wait for this journey, for this experience for you. Okay, so here's my summary for you to digest, to process, and then I'm going to give you the action steps to take as soon as you've finished listening. The course is going to help you to reconnect to who you are. Remember, it's already in you. It's already true that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. All this course, this program is going to do is give you the process and the tool, because we need that, right? To do that by ourselves is really challenging because we're too busy. We're inside of our brains, right? It's very hard to see the right places to look. It's very hard to see ourselves in a different light. What we need and what I'm here for, what my job is, what my passion is to help you see, is to hold up the mirror and show you, right, who you are. So that's what the course does. It helps you remember who you are, and this will connect you to that version of you that's inside of you, that's capable of anything that you put your mind to. And you're going to start feeling like yourself again, and you're going to have the confidence to succeed. Not just in this industry, not just in a white world, but the confidence to succeed in your life, in every area of your life. I cannot wait. Okay, here's what you need to know in terms of next steps. The doors open this Friday. At the time this is published, this episode or this video, it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I think the podcast goes out on Wednesday. The video gets uploaded to YouTube on the Thursday, right? So if you're listening to this in like when it's published, you are right here at the moment when the doors open. So make a note. Friday, the 15th of November, I'm opening the doors. If you are listening to it before that date, I want to encourage you to come to the webinar. I'm putting on a webinar at 1 p.m. GMT on Friday. It's called How to Be Confident. It's where I walk you through this whole process, talking about the ways in which your thoughts and your feelings are holding you back in your career, in those ways that you're showing up and holding yourself back. Talking about that, talking about what's possible for you, right, when you go on this confidence journey. And most important, I'm going to walk you through those steps as to how you get there, how you get to being confident in who you are. So make sure you sign up to the webinar, and even if you can't make it, like sign up anyway, and I will send you the replay. It's going to be so valuable. And if you are not in time to sign up for the webinar, then what I want to offer is I will also make it available, so that I will most likely make it available on the podcast. So even if you're not able to show up, I'll make sure you have access to it, or I will roll it out perhaps as an email later on. So either way, it's going to be so valuable and really get you, What I want for this webinar is that it really immerse you in the importance of doing this work on your confidence and how it's going to impact so many different areas of your work and what is possible for you if you go on this journey with me. All right, so it's 2 days to count down. Confident Black Lawyers is opening. It is £600, £600 for an online program that you can do whenever you want, as quickly as you want. An online program where you get the support through the community, you get the support through the live coaching every single month. £600 of access to give you access to me and me helping you to troubleshoot and implement, right? All of that available to you for £600. I can't wait for you to get on this program. I'm so excited. I cannot to be on this journey with you. I cannot wait to be part of the movement alongside you to build a movement of confident Black lawyers. We're changing the industry, my friends, changing the face of it, changing the colour of it, right? We're progressing the career you have worked so hard to build. Let's do it. Let's enjoy it. I will speak to you. I will see you on the webinar, hopefully. And either way, I will see you inside the program when you join. If you have any questions, this is the last but not least. If you have any questions, I'm going to be going live every day next week. So from the 18th, I'll be going live on social media. I will hope to be going live on Instagram and LinkedIn, possibly Facebook as well. So if you're not already, you could be the first Facebook group. I'm not really sure about the Facebook one. So if in doubt, go to Instagram and my LinkedIn. I will be going live where I'll be answering all of your questions about confidence. So if you have any questions about confidence, questions about confident Black lawyers, please join my lives. Please ask me questions. Send them ahead of time. DM me on any of the platforms. I'm on them all, okay? And I'm going to answer all your questions and clear things up for you so you can get started on this journey. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm waiting to take you all the way. All right, that's it from me. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. I'll be back again soon.